They did not give Bublik a time fault, though, or warning when he gave the racket to the girl and told her to hit it. Did you
Yeah,
see
they
that
should have.
video?
They should have been. They should have though. They didn't show Coric, but you could tell. You could tell by the umpire's reaction, like that he was pissed off.
Yeah,
He
because
did
he was
not.
fucking kicking his ass.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, "You're gonna
Bublik,
stop.
smart move. I mean, he got the crowd on his side. Definitely got the crowd on his side.
You're gonna stop the freight train by putting a kid in the way."
Dude, I can't believe.
Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Gambling Racket, the sports gambling podcast aimed at giving you the angles and insights into successfully betting on professional tennis. My name is Ben, and I'm once again joined by my co-hosts Vic and Chris to recap the first 250 level tournaments of the clay season and look forward to our first of 3 1,000 level tournaments on clay in 2024. As a quick recap of what we talked about and looked forward to after episode 12, again, we had 3 250 level tournaments for the men, 2 events for the women. We didn't really care about Bogota. We only covered Charleston. Today is Sunday, April 7th, and we still have the final in Houston to look forward to. So we'll be seeing Ben Shelton taking on Francis Tiafoe, 2 Americans going head-to-head for the final in Houston. We saw Matteo Berrettini, the card god's boy, the Italian boy, taking the title in Marrakech over Carballes Baena. And in Portugal, we saw Pedro Martinez making his debut in an ATP final. Unfortunately, though, he was handled pretty easily by favorite of the podcast, Hubie Hurkacz. So it's been a fun week so far.
Time out. Favorite of the podcast.
Yeah, we love Hubie. Remember we talked about him last time with
we do love Hubie.
Remember he thanked Caroline Wozniacki for letting him hit?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The guy is the meme lord, and it might be accidental, but we still love him for that. Also,
guys, we got
who doesn't
40
love
minutes until Danielle Collins. We only got an hour until Ben Shelton. Today's a great day.
Wow, you really couldn't wait to get that one out. You sound like an old-timey baseball commentator or caster. Yes, good point, though, Chris. We still have the final in Charleston for the women as well, where Danielle Collins continues her incredible streak lately and is a heavy favorite against Dasha Kasatkina. So that we tried to identify some value for that one, but just did not see it. She's minus 275 on the money line, minus 4.5 games. The total is 20.5 games. And if Kasatkina can pull off a set, that's immediate. Both of those are immediately dead, both spreads. So maybe we can catch a juicy live line. We'll tweet that out if we do. Obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, you definitely missed it because it's in the past by now. But that kind of recaps a week of warm-ups for tournaments. I see Chris has a question, so I'm going to pause briefly to throw it over to him.
Now, this is the perfect time.
Oh, boy.
If Kasatkina gets first serve, wins the first serve, that's when you test that system and get it on Collins, right? Because minus 260, there's no value there.
Sometimes. So
I think it works more if you're betting the dog, because then the dog goes down, right? So if you're betting the favorite, they don't move it right away, it seems. But, that doesn't make sense because they would have to move it to counteract the new juice for the dog. So, yeah, I don't know, Chris. You might be right. Let's check it out.
I'm just saying, even though she is Miss America, she's in Charleston, minus 260, like there's no value there whatsoever.
No, definitely no way.
Yeah, it's kind of a disappointing betting day for Charleston, but it is nice to see Danielle Collins back in the final.
Yeah, for a little bit of context, before we started filming today, we were talking about some of the early round 1 matches in Monte Carlo. Vic, being a huge Alexander Bublik fan, was looking at him at plus 140 on the money line pre-match and against Borna Coric. And Coric got first serve, won the first game, total just 1-0 games in the first set, and the line immediately went to plus 220. So we hit it at plus 220 to try and catch up. Obviously, Bublik took the second game and went right back down to plus 140
and then
live.
That was only one of two games he won. So
Yeah, for real.
surprise, surprise, he got fucking shredded. So it didn't matter about the extra value. Oh my gosh, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. It costing me some money late these last couple of tournaments, not even making out the first round.
Yeah, it was kind of a brutal showing for him. He even took a break to let one of the ball girls serve for him, literally like 30-30 in the middle of the second set. Of course, didn't seem too happy about it. The umpire tried to calm him down, but won the crowd over. So you're always good for some entertainment when you're watching Bublik. But anyways, we're talking about getting that live value on the money line. We're not just anecdotally, Chris, I agree with Vic that I typically don't see favorites getting like if they drop the first game when it's not even their serve, dropping from minus 275 to like minus 150 or something like that. It'll move maybe a little bit, but it'd be hard to find a ton of value there, I think. But we'll watch it and we'll report back again. Hopefully you're following us on the social so you can catch a live tweet if we do decide to hit a live line here. But that's what we're looking forward to wrap up, again, the first week of clay court events. But the exciting stuff we really want to talk about today is ATP Monte Carlo. It is our first 1000 level Masters event for the men on clay courts, and the draw has been out for a couple days now. We're already into round one matchups. Again, this is a favorite of players and fans alike because of how scenic the environment is in Monte Carlo, or at Monte Carlo rather. It's played in like Roquebrune, France, or something like that. I don't know how to say the name of the place, but it is an event that's been won by Rafael Nadal 11 times. Unfortunately, we're not seeing him today, or sorry, during this tournament, as he's still dealing with an injury and his body's just not letting him play. We will be seeing Novak Djokovic. We'll be seeing last year's winner, Andrei Rublev. We'll be seeing Carlos Alcaraz, who is the outright favorite right now, Daniel Medvedev, and Jannik Sinner. Other winners include Fabio Fognini, Stefano Tsitsipas twice. And I think we're in for an exciting field. But to take us to the draw and to talk about what he likes, just for what passes the eye test for him, I'm going to kick it over to Vic for some Monte Carlo action.
Yeah, sure. Monte Carlo, it's like the Vegas of Europe, right? It's where all the rich fucks go. I know they do F1 there. I didn't want to interrupt your dialogue with my tangents about the what they do in Monte Carlo, but
thank you. Many thank yous.
Roll there. No.
All right, Vic, take us to the draw.
You got it. I got you. All right. The first one is Alcaraz is a favorite, like you said, plus 200, Sinner plus 300, Joker 350, and then you get that big drop off to Medvedev 1400, Rune 16, Rude 2000. Tsitsipas, like you said, who's two-time champ, so he's plus 2800, even though he's played like shit all year. Then Rublev 2800, podcast favorite Hubert Hurkacz plus 5,000, and Taylor Fritz, who just got knocked off by Musetti in the first round, plus 5,000.
Yeah, don't put money on Taylor Fritz. He is literally not even an option anymore.
Taylor Fritz was an early exit.
If your local bookie is trying to get you to play a futures bet on Fritz, don't fucking take it, please.
But yeah, I don't know. Looking at it, Alcaraz is a favorite, like we talked about. I don't know, plus 2,000 Rude. I mean, if I'm betting it, that's what I'm doing. He doesn't have the easiest draw. Probably playing to Bio in the second round, and then he'd have Alcaraz in the quarterfinals. But Rude is the clay court specialist. This is his season. This is when you expect him to really turn it on. So I'm gonna go with Rude at plus 2,000.
Ooh. Let me give you this angle, Vic and Chris, to both of you. Alcaraz is the odds-on favorite as the third seed. So what's that telling you about Sinner at number 2 and Djokovic as the 1 seed?
Well, Sinner's not traditionally good on clay, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like his worst surface. And I think he talked about hoping to be more ready this year for it, but
yep.
Yeah. So it's not a good surface for him. And then Joker, I think Joker and Alcaraz are always just like right there odds wise. So he's a little more down in his form lately. So that explains the odds there. But I mean, I think it's a toss up between any three of them. You know, they're definitely on a tier all by themselves, obviously.
So in general, Chris, do you think that if you're getting extra value on the number one seed in the tournament, are you like, is that an automatic bet for you, or are you looking at it with a skeptical eye?
So just like college basketball rankings, right? Do you ever take the AP ranking into account over what Vegas is saying?
Take
I always
KenPom
lean.
into account.
I always lean to Vegas. They know more than I do, and they know more than the tournament seeders. I would say it's like that because Djokovic is very clearly, trying to split focus on personal and social life, as well as tennis. He has literally nothing left to prove. He could moonwalk into the sunset tomorrow as the GOAT of the sport. So, I think it's a little bit of a motivation thing. But I wanted to loop back around to Rude. That guy was so hot going into this tournament. And then to lose to Pedro Martinez, I actually put half a unit on Pedro Martinez in the final just because I was like, man, maybe this guy was just on fire, but obviously not the case. He was completely dominated in the final. So what happened to Casper?
I mean, he lost in 3 sets to Pedro Martinez in Morocco, or no, Estoril, excuse me, like you just talked about. But I mean, he wasn't like he got blasted in any of the sets. It was 6-4, 6-4, 6, 6-4. You know what I mean? Like it was like a tight back and forth affair. And I mean, Pedro Martinez didn't get run off the court by Hurkacz. I mean, he's a decent player. I think he just brought it and caught Rude on a bad day. You know what I mean? But before that, Rude was just fucking going through people. Fukovic, 6'3", 6'2". That fucking dude with 4 names from the Netherlands, that Dutchman.
Botic, that's Chris's boy.
Botic van der Sloot.
Botic van der Zandsloop.
Botic van der Sloot, 6'1", 6'2". So, I mean.
Say it loud and everyone will think you're pronouncing it right.
Exactly, yeah. But no, I just think Pedro Martinez, new podcast favorite. Now that we know there's a guy named Pedro Martinez out there on the ATP tour.
Hall of Fame baseball player, great on the clay court. Is there anything Pedro Martinez can't do?
He beats up old men pretty well.
Are you a Yankee?
I thought that was Conor McGregor.
No, I'm complimenting him for that.
Yeah, that old man had it coming. All right.
Yeah, agreed.
Pedro Martinez hit an old man.
Boy, yeah. You don't remember? Wait, you don't remember this?
I don't remember this at all. All I remember is Conor McGregor hitting.
Yeah, what's his name? It's not Zimmer.
I think it is Zimmer. Don Zimmer.
Don Zimmer. Yeah, I said Zimmer and like Andrew Zimmer. That's the Food Channel guy. Yeah, Don Zimmer charged him after.
He threw at Giambi.
Yeah, yeah. There's some words back and forth.
I don't blame him for hitting an old man that was charging him.
Varitek steps in, and there's some hands are being put on people, and Zimmer does a charge at Martinez, and Martinez grabs him by the shoulders essentially and throws him down.
Dude, he waved that old man on. He's like, "Come on, come on." And that old man had no business charging him. That old man.
He was like, "Back in my day."
That was driven by racism in that old. That's what that was.
All right, yeah, we're definitely all right. That's a Twitter clip.
Pedro Martinez is a fucking man for manhandling Don Zimmer. Fuck Don Zimmer.
Well, I'm glad he's found his Michael Jordan baseball career equivalent on the clay courts. Good for him.
Yeah, he grabs him by the side of his head and just throws him to the ground.
Oh, you're looking up right now.
I feel like Pedro was really nice here. I feel like he didn't destroy him. He just embarrassed him.
Yeah, he just like, oh man, get out of here. Come on.
Yeah, like what is this joke? Like, I feel like a real a-hole would have punched him. Guys, I also want to show you this.
Tune him up real quick.
You see this little tiny milkshake?
It's like a shake.
Okay,
yeah. It looks like a little milkshake.
It looks like
vape.
Oh, I froze.
It's a vape. A vape. Wow.
They made it look like a milkshake. That's all.
Wait, hang on. I think we lost Vic. Oh wait, Vic, you said you froze. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. All right, a little bit of sidebar there. Fun conversation, though. That's what we do here at the Gambling Racket. We like to keep it fun. So let's talk. Okay, we're not done.
Ben, if you come to Vic's fight at Rough and Rowdy in West Virginia, we could do a live podcast all together.
That's true. We could, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's a big ass.
What if I pay a third? What if I pay a third of your airfare?
Maybe. Dude, I'm getting married in 2 months. Less than 2 months.
What does that have to do with?
I got planning and shit to do. I got things on the way.
As soon as the fight's over, Vic, call out Jake Paul and get that fight lined up, baby.
Okay, I definitely will. I'll call out Jake Paul.
It's going to be an awkward transition from pitching the book to calling out Jake Paul. And one more thing, Jake Paul, fuck you.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And since there's only 2 fighters out there that don't know how to read, and Floyd Mayweather's retired, I'm challenging you, Jake Paul.
That's true. Get 50 Cent in your corner.
Yeah, that can never hurt.
All right, I don't know if we're going to keep all this in the podcast. I kind of want to keep it, though.
I think we should do a Gambling Racket special on the P. Diddley.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know about P. Diddy, bro?
About the P. Diddley? Oh. I thought on the P. Diddley, the way you phrase it. Yeah, of course I know who Diddy is. We're not doing unless we can gamble on the results of his fucking trial, then no, we're not doing an episode on Diddy. There's enough content creators covering that scumbag.
All right, let's get back into Monte Carlo.
Yeah, Chris, cut it out.
All right, so I liked Rude. Ben, did you have a pick?
We talked about.
Run through the odds to win. Run through the odds to win real quick.
All right,
you have Rude at plus 2,000.
Alcaraz at plus. Wait, sorry, say that again, Chris.
Did you say Rude was plus 2,000?
Yeah, Rude is plus 2,000.
Yeah, Alcaraz is the odds-on favorite at plus 200. Jannik Sinner plus 300. Novak Djokovic plus 350. Daniil Medvedev plus 1,400. So big jump there. Holger Rune plus 1,600. Casper Ruud at plus 2,000. Stefanos Tsitsipas at plus 2,800. Rublev also plus 2,800, the returning champ. And Hubert Hurkacz at plus 5,000. Those are the top 9.
That's so crazy, the top 3 and then that giant jump. I don't see any value here immediately. I don't have a future bet.
I mean, I agree. I kind of, again, I'm not one to tie my money up that long for not too juicy of odds. Alcaraz is probably the best clay court player on the tour right now. Sinner is probably in the best form of any player on tour right now, and Djokovic is the GOAT. So I think rightfully so, those 3 are kind of separated out from the rest of the group here. And it's kind of, Chris, I would look through your sports book and see if you can get one of those, the field versus the top 3 again. That might be some decent odds on the field.
It's funny you mentioned that. I'm actually looking for that right now, because at plus 200, they might have an Alcaraz versus the field.
That's fair. That'd be, if the field had some really good odds, and that might be worth it if you like to play it safe on the futures. My futures picks again. So as a reminder, last episode, in episode 12, I picked Echeverry for Houston. I picked Garin for Marrakech, or is that Portugal? And I don't think
the cheater.
I didn't have. He's a cheater. That's not cheating when the umpire fucks up. But I've been picking guys that are going to that are making it deep in the tournament and not winning, and it's frustrating. So I need quarters winners for these 250 events, even if there's not even a quarter.
We can do let's do a quarter. Let's do the quarter winner for this, because this is 1,000. We don't have the odds for it, but let's all run through who we think the quarterfinalists are going to be. I think Joker, Rude, Medvedev, Sinner. No big upsets. The only upset I think would be Rude not being the top guy out of his quarter to make it. Or Medvedev. No, Medvedev is a top guy.
Who won? I'm not too confident on that Joker pick. Who won the Greek Sport just beat Kepfer in 3 sets today. I think this is strong. Djokovic would have to go through Musetti, who just beat Fritz, possibly De Minaur.
Fees is good.
Fees is good in the early rounds. He's a young guy. He's not
Fees
on.
Could beat Musetti. Fees could beat Musetti next round, and then Joker doesn't have to see him. But
I don't see that. I don't see Fees beating Musetti.
Bro, if Fees wins, I'm going to bet on him against Musetti.
If he beats Manarino?
Yeah. Which
the battle of the Frenchmen. Manarino's a wild card. Not a literal wild card, but like who knows what Manarino's going to show up. I don't have confidence in Fees. I think if you ask around to Feast bettors over this past week, he had an implosion midway through the week. So it was kind of ugly. I don't put a lot of stock in that guy right now. I think he's got a lot of potential, relatively high ceiling for a Frenchman, but I'm not betting on him to beat Musetti right now. Musetti's playing great. I can see Musetti being in the top 10 in the next couple months, possibly, if he keeps up the way he's playing. In Djokovic's quarters, De Minaur, who's playing stand the man. Greek Sport's playing well. Chris's boys, Popyrin, is playing a qualifier, and the winner of that goes on to face Rublev. That's a stacked first quarter of this tournament, and I don't trust anyone. If anything, that kind of turns me off to the Djokovic plus 350 future, because that's going to be a slugfest.
So who do you think on that first section then? Rublev?
I do kind of like Andre Rublev. I like him because he's regarded as like he's the guy that everybody likes off the court, but on the court he's such a self-destructive scumbag and psychopath.
He's so Jekyll and Hyde, man. Jekyll and Hyde.
So it's hard to tell. I think as a former winner of this tournament, it's hard not to put some stock in him, though. He's the 6th seed here. He's got a relatively easy path to face the top half of the quarter, like the Djokovic and the Musetti. He'd have to go through.
Popyrin and Demon.
Yeah.
I think Popyrin versus Rublev will be such a fun match to watch, just because both those guys slap that ball so hard.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really cool. A lot of big backhands.
Popyrin's first title was on clay. Popyrin won a 250 or a 500 last year on a clay court. So
all right, so I'm gonna TED talk here for 1 second. For all the viewers that don't know how ATP rankings are determined, are you guys familiar with how the ATP determines their rankings? It's literally just based on how many rounds into the tournament you go. It doesn't really matter about your competition. So like if you get lucky with an upset and you're facing some guy that upset somebody as a qualifier in the round of 32, you still get the same amount of points even if you're facing Jannik Sinner, right? So
right.
It's all about how deep you go. But tennisabstract.com doesn't use that. They go by just who you're playing and give you the ELO based on, how stiff your competition actually was. And something that was really surprising to me, the best clay score ELO on Tennis Abstract is obviously Carlos Alcaraz. Number 2 is Tsitsipas. 3 is Djokovic. 4 is Casper Ruud. And 5 is Andre Rublev.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised about that. We talked last week about how Ruud is a clay court guy. I like that. Rublev returning champ here. And we have to remember Tsitsipas is not in form right now, and it's probably a multitude of factors, but
he hasn't played a clay match all year.
Yes, true, but that's not he's a 2-time champ of Monte Carlo but I think the problem we're seeing with Tsitsipas is that he just hasn't evolved his game. You have to remember 3 years ago they were talking about the new big 3 being Zverev, Tsitsipas, and Medvedev. And who's the actual new big 3? It's Alcaraz, Sinner, and the last, Djokovic, I guess. But does he
And
really count?
Joker's still hanging around.
Yeah, and Medvedev can be in that conversation, but like everyone else,
Medvedev is like the Andy Murray of his generation, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's one step behind those top fucking guys, but he's right there. You know what I mean?
That's a good analogy. I like that.
I hope he wins more Grand Slams than Andy Murray, though. You know, I
Same.
definitely hope he takes down some more Grand Slams. I think he's
Same.
gonna have a better opportunity because I think we're definitely entering the end of the Joker era.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, Chris, I like that website. I'm not too surprised that those are the top guys. I think Tsitsipas is gonna he's kind of riding the tail end of this wave of that really dominant performance that he had when like his backhand, his one-handed backhand was super on. He just, I don't know, he hasn't evolved his game enough lately, and that's why. And maybe Paul Badosa is getting in his head as well, but that's why we're not seeing the guy that we were all promised a few years ago as like this new big three guy. I'm not putting a lot of stock in him. I hope he turns it around though. I want to see a one-handed backhander, even though I'm not a huge fan of the play style. I think it's kind of dumb. Unless it's Federer, who's like a generational talent.
What are Tsitsipas's future odds?
Plus 2,800. Outright
winner. He won it twice. He won it in 2001, 2022.
Yes.
So he hasn't. So 2020. Man, you think he's fallen off so much? I feel like there's got to be a little bit of value. There's only two people with an ELO over 2,000, and it's Tsitsipas and Alcaraz. It is tempting, but he has been playing so bad lately that I probably won't play the bet.
I don't even like. I'm not so confident that he's going to get by Laszlo Djere in the first round. Yeah, so you don't bet against the Serbians if you don't have to, right? I feel like Vic can relate to that. He's a tracksuit guy.
Laszlo's a top 25 clay ELO player, so you could be right.
He looked okay. I think he played in Marrakech this past week. He looked okay, but then he had
a different fucking list than you, brother. He's like 152 on this one, but
that's his overall ELO.
Oh, 58th this year.
You gotta sort it by the clay.
Oh, I see. Good call.
Yeah,
we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. I do appreciate that. That's some interesting insight, Chris. I think if I had to pick a quarter winner for number one, I'm putting my money on Rublev, just because there's probably going to be some value there. We'll update. If I do make a pick, I'll update with actual odds once those are out, if they come out. Quarter two is the Alcaraz quarter with Casper Ruud on the opposite side. Other notable names are Hubert Hurkacz, Hubie, and Ugo Humbert. No one else in this one is.
No, hold up. My boy Jerry Shang is in this one. Oh wait,
no, Triple Z. Oh no, you talk about
Triple Z. I got my Chinese players confused here.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you like the 19-year-old out of China, Jun Chen Chang.
Jerry Shang, man. He fucking lived at what's that academy down there in Florida where all the kids go for football? IMG. He's training out of IMG. Mad drip. Jerry Shang, you know.
You're picking up that culture. That's important
for your game. You follow him on TikTok or what?
I don't fucking TikTok, bro.
You don't follow your Chinese comrade on TikTok?
Hey, we can't hate on every Chinese person. There's some good ones out there. Triple Z, cool nickname. Jerry Chang, cool name.
I actually love that.
Chang is a cool name.
I love that he's training at the IMG Academy. How old did you say he was?
19. He's we talked about him in episode 1 as potential young gun candidate of the year because he's been playing so well. He had a great end of his season in 2023, and we've seen some good performance from him, especially in Indian Wells. He had a big win early on there against I think it was a top 5 guy. I can't remember exactly who it was, but
he beat Kekmanovic.
In Miami.
How do I spell it? I want to look this guy up. How do I spell it?
Juncheng. Jun Cheng.
Okay, found it.
I think okay. Did I spell it right?
You did.
Me and my Mandarin, baby. Training with gloves. I'm training with traditional Mandarin characters.
Yeah, I gotta find his IG, bro.
Okay,
All right, so
so
let's get back to section two. My bad, my bad. So who's your pick in section two, Ben?
I hope we get to see Casper Ruud Carlos Alcaraz match in for the quarter. You can't bet against Alcaraz in on clay. Sorry, you just can't. It's insane.
He has his
Not for a
arm taped
quarter.
up. He was hitting today, and we didn't talk about it. My bad. I saw this on Twitter. He had his arm taped up when he was hitting at practice today. So there is some.
Did he get bit by a dog or something?
I have no idea, but there is some minor speculation. There's arm situation for Alcaraz. So be on the lookout for that.
I will look for his arms. Okay,
His right arm. His right arm.
Third quarter is the Zverev quarter, and on the opposite side is Daniil Medvedev, who has a bye first round, but will be playing the winner of Gael Monfils and who did I just see? Jordan Thompson, I believe. Yeah, sorry, Thompson in the second round. That should be a fun matchup, but I like, as a Medi enjoyer, I'm not really gonna put too much stock in anyone going up against him. Then he's got to go through potentially Karen Khachanov or Cam Norrie. Khachanov Norrie first round. Wow, love that. Khachanov's the number 15 seed. Norrie's unseeded. Norrie's got clay court experience. He played on the Golden Swing this year. So if we get decent odds there, let me look that up while I'm talking here. That could be a good bet. Zverev could be facing off against Evans or Offner. So bad boy of Britain versus Offner, who just had Vic, I think you bet on Offner in Marrakech. He had a bye first round, and then you bet against him.
I bet against him in.
How did that go?
He was who did he lose to?
Vukic.
Yeah, Vukic. But no, Offner was fucking smoking the ball. He was. I mean, that was. I can't believe he didn't win that one. He should have won that game. He was dominating.
Who does Cam Norrie play?
Cam Norrie's plus 115 underdog against Karen Khachanov. Khachanov is minus 140. What are you seeing, Chris?
I'm seeing Cam Norrie as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Quarter three is stacked.
12th best raw clay elo right now for Cam Norrie. I got to find Karen real quick and see where he's at.
Remember, he also, when he came off the clay court, he met up on the hard court in Acapulco, and he had to withdraw before he even played because his body was just he was just beat. He was worn out. So we're also getting.
I'm looking at the Karen. I'm looking at Karen, and he's been to the quarterfinals in the French Open twice, so he might be a good on clay. I don't know what your elo sets, but just looking at his at Pat's performance on clay,
Khachanov.
I'm never afraid of a guy named Karen. So according to this elo, Cam Norrie's a 60% chance to win. So plus 110 odds on that. Is that what you said?
Plus 115 against Khachanov.
I'm gonna go ahead and make this my 4-unit play. 4-unit Cam Norrie plus 115.
Whoa, okay. Wow. A 4-unit play on a dog. Love that. Let me continue going through. I want our listeners to hear how stacked this quarter is. Zverev's top of the quarter with a bye. He plays the winner of Evans and Offner. Then we've got Jerry playing Echeverry, two guys with clay court experience this year before this past week. Then we've got who we already talked about, Laszlo Djere and Stefanos Tsitsipas. Khachanov Norrie. Cerundolo is playing a qualifier, Monfils, Thompson, and then Medi. That's a stacked quarter. These are going to be some great matches. I can see anyone coming out of this one. I am interested to see how Zverev kind of adapts to clay this week. But, man, this is a hard one to pick. If I had to put my money on someone, I'm picking a guy who's hungry for it. I want to pick maybe Nico Jerry. That kind of sounds fun. He had a pretty good week in the second week of Miami. Maybe he took this week off, feeling rested. He's got the clay court already going on. I don't know. This is gonna be a fun one. Who do you guys like here?
For this quarter, I like Big Z.
Big Z.
He's made the French Open final or semifinal 3 years running. So He plays fine on clay. Yeah, I think he's gonna come out of that quarter.
Okay.
Big
What
Z.
what are the odds for him to win the quarter?
We don't have them yet. I'm refreshing as we go to hoping we get them, but they are currently not out.
What are his odds to win the whole thing?
He is. I don't have those in front of me either. Actually, he's not in the top.
Not in the top
10.
nine. Not in the top nine.
Not top 9. Right.
Big
That's
Z's not
Chris's
in the
out.
top 9.
Nope.
I'm smashing that as soon as they make a line for him.
All right. I love that. Let me see if I can find while we're talking here. Let me see if I can find something. But that's quarter 3. I'm excited for this quarter. I think it's going to be a slugfest. Moving on to quarter 4, though, the obviously Jannik Sinner is the guy to beat here. On the opposite side of the quarter is Holger Rune. Jannik is going to have to go through the winner of Korda and ADF, Davidovich Fokina. We already know that Bublik was not moving on the 16 seed. He lost to Koric, who's going to play Jean-Leonard Struff, who's already taken down Sebastian Baez, a favorite of mine, not necessarily on clay, but he's had a good clay season already. He's got 2 titles down in the Golden Swing. We'll also see Dimitrov.
That's crazy. Baez has played really well so far this year.
Yeah, he went down in 3 sets to the German today.
JLS.
JLS. I love the 3 letters. Dimitrov is in this quarter as well, who's having a really strong season despite the lack of a title. Chris, your boy, Berrettini, Kecmanovic. This is his round 1 guy. That winner, sorry, they'll most likely play the Dimitrov because Dimitrov's playing a wild card. We've also got Matteo Arnaldi playing an alternate. I think that's going to be Cajot. Cajot got a last minute wild card in this tournament. And I don't see him in the draw here.
What section are you looking at? 4?
Quarter 4.
Arnaldi's playing Sumit Nagal.
Oh, Sumit, nice. Okay. Chris is Indian guy.
Qualify for Monte Carlo in 42 years. So
Punjabi powerhouse.
Big year for Sumit Nagal.
Maybe I shouldn't call him that. It's probably not even Punjabi. I'm gonna cut that out. And yeah, Holger Rune will play. He's got a bye. He's going to play the winner of Arnaldi and Nagal. So not too many exciting matches here, especially since our Vix King of Kazakhstan is already out. We don't get his antics to entertain us. We get the stern and no fun having Borna Koric instead. So if I had to pick a winner here, it's obviously going to be Jannik Sinner because betting against Jannik Sinner is also insane right now. So yes, I don't expect to get good odds on that. But here we are. Anyone feel any differently about Q4?
Yeah, actually, I don't think Sinner's going to win it.
The quarter?
I don't think he's going to win the quarter. Yeah, fuck that. I'll change my pick. Sinner, Clay, we just talked about he's Clay's where he's maybe weakest. So I'm going to go fucking curveball. Berrettini to win the quarter.
Wow.
Just bam. That's not what I said before. I'm changing it.
Wow.
Berrettini to win the quarter. Your boy.
Chris, he's jumping on your train. Are you having him? Or you putting him in coach? Or is he first class riding with you?
Vic's always first class when he rides with me. Let's fucking go.
Okay. So does that mean you're on Berrettini to win the quarter as well? To take down probably Holger Rune and then face Sinner for the quarters?
No, I'm
probably the underdog.
The train has derailed, boys. We are off the rails in a ditch.
Vic's driving the train. I'm not attaching myself to that one. However, what are his odds in his first match?
Sinner's got a bye. Wait, Sinner or Berrettini?
Berrettini.
So he's going to be playing Kecmanovic, like Vic just said, and he is a minus 215 favorite. Kecmanovic is plus 175. Game spread is minus 3.5 games.
Wow, Berrettini, pretty heavy favorite there. Surprising.
He's playing real well. He's in form. Kecmanovic can't say the same.
I mean, his peak rank was 6.
Who?
Yeah.
Berrettini. Like,
oh, yeah.
Man,
Yeah, he's a fucking dog. He can play. Yeah.
I mean, he's a heavy favorite for a reason.
I love it.
Are you gonna bet that? That's kind of pretty juiced there.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that he wins the quarter. I think that he plays well, but going past Rune and Sinner seems very likely he'll drop one of those.
I can see Matteo Arnaldi beating Rune.
Dude, do you guys think Holger's played like shit this year? I don't really see, you know what I mean? Am I crazy?
No, that's what I just said. I think I can see Arnaldi beating Rune.
Yeah, like I could see Rune losing the first round, no problem. Or
we get a battle of the eye ties. Arnaldi, Berrettini. Cannoli versus Cannoli.
That'll be a fun third round matchup.
Chris? You're taking your Italian versus the other Italian, if that's what it comes down to?
Yeah.
Play him your Italian.
Yeah.
Choose your fighter.
If he plays Yannick Sinner, I'll be all over it.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, that's all our quarter winners then.
Yep. Did we? I know I haven't picked an outright winner because I'm very hesitant on this one. But
I picked Casper. Remember, plus 2,000.
That's right. Chris, you have an outright?
I'm going with Big Z.
Big Z. Odds to be announced once they are released again.
Odds TBD, but I'm going with the Big Z. Everybody's sleeping on my boy. I'm getting great value. I'm just blown away that he's not listed in the top 9 of likely people to win this tournament.
Hey, Vegas knows something. That means he's longer odds than plus 5,000 to win. You realize that, right?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm getting value.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, honestly, it's not that crazy. I mean, he's got a good record on clay. Fuck it, why not?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not betting it because I think he's actually going to win. I'm betting it because the odds are so good.
He would theoretically have to go against Tsitsipas, Medvedev, Sinner, and then Joker/Alcaraz. So
he's coming out of the most stacked quarter.
Yeah,
coming out of the most stacked quarter and has the most stacked. He doesn't get any breaks. He sees everybody.
That's okay. I picked my horse and I'm going to ride him.
I think Big Z is one of those guys that's especially affected by Medi's mind games. TM, Medi mind games.
That is true. Oh, bro, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Medvedev fucking owns him. So, Medvedev fucking owns him. Every time they play, Medvedev punks him.
I'm a Medvedev enjoyer. Okay. If I honestly, I'm probably not going to place a futures bet here because if I had to pick someone to like realistically win, it'd be Alcaraz, and I don't want plus 200 odds. My money tied up that long.
All right, give us a long shot then.
My long shot. I don't have the odds for him in front of me.
Yeah. Just pick a crazy dog.
Nico Jerry. I mentioned him before. He's my long shot to win Q3. I think if he wins the quarter, he wins the whole thing. I know you guys hate him because he wears the nose strip, but I respect that. I respect he has the confidence to do that, and his wife is hot.
I do have a lot of respect for people with hot wives.
See, Chris gets it. What'd you ask, Vic?
He's Chilean, right? So
yes,
I feel like there's a lot
Chilean.
of Chile. Yeah.
Rabid fans down there, which is good or bad depending on whose side you're on.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what though? I could also see her catch plus 5,000. I don't see that being too crazy. He'd have to beat Casper Ruud and Alcaraz to do so. But I like the way Hubie's playing. He's got the title in his pocket just today. Maybe he keeps that on a roll. Does that make sense? Keep it on a roll.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And again, favorite of the podcast. So we love throwing our support. But I'm speaking for all of us. We love throwing our support behind Hubie Hurkacz.
All right, so let's go back to Jerry real quick.
Yes.
The guy is quarterfinal all year. He hasn't finished the tournament less before making the quarterfinal, and he made the final already this year. Sorry. I think I like the pick for a long shot.
Thanks.
Echeverry is a tough first round, but I think he'll take it. Yeah,
that's a really tough first round, especially with the way he just played in Houston. Looked really good. Couldn't best Ben Shelton though. So yeah, I'm not too jazzed about Echeverry right now. Also, not a huge fan of Echeverry's attitude. Ben Shelton's really winning me over lately. I think Ben Shelton brings like a lot of fun to the match, and Echeverry was kind of resisting that feeling throughout the whole match, and it just it gives the wrong vibe. It's not what you want to see as a viewer, you know?
Yeah, he's no Bublik out there.
No, he's not. Bublik is a one-man circus, for better or for worse. All right, boys, that's Monte Carlo. What do we want to talk about what the women are doing this week?
So they don't have Monte Carlo. They have I think the next big thing for them is Billie Jean King, and that's next week. So I think they might have this week off, if I'm not crazy. Let's see.
I know Chris does not care. This week for the women.
Oh yeah, this week is just the Billie Jean King Cup qualifying round. So that's what they have this week. They only have the Billie Jean King Cup.
Right. They there's a 125 event, but I don't expect. Let me look at the draw real quick. I don't expect to have any interest in that though. Oh, my apologies. Actually, that I'm looking at the wrong dates. That actually ends today. Oh, that's Bogota. No, it's not. That's a even lower event. They do have the week off. You're right. So they'll be in Stuttgart, Germany, starting on the 15th. In Portugal on the 15th as well for a 125 event, and a 250 event in France starting on the 15th. So yeah, they got the week off. How nice. Hopefully, oh, you know what? Let's check it real quick. Collins and Kazatkina just about to start. Collins gets first serve. Not the dynamic we were hoping to test this out, test our theory by. So yeah, that's too bad. Well, let's keep an eye. If she drops, okay. How about this? A minus 275 favorite drops first serve, does not hold serve. What do you think odds do?
Minus 275 favorite loses minus 200.
Is broken on their first serve.
Yeah, get broken on the first serve, lose a third of the value.
So they're down 2-0?
No, 1-0.
Well, they would be down 2-0 if their opponent holds first serve.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see how they change.
Yeah, what's your guess?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. It's just for like your assumption.
Yeah, I'd say things. I'd say probably minus 200. I'm with Vic. Okay. Maybe minus 325 even.
Not a bad guess. Well, I think we've kind of exhausted things to talk about. I'm excited for Monte Carlo. I like watching clay courts. I can't remember who it was. One of the players recently said that like clay court is the real evaluation of a tennis player, because like there's so many factors you have to think about. You really have to have a well-rounded game to be successful on clay. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it for that reason. I kind of agree with that. It's interesting the way that the ball plays. It's interesting the way that players move around on clay versus hard court. So I'm excited for clay season, boys. and Monte Carlo is always a fun way to kick it off.
Yeah, should be fun. Should be a fun one. I mean, it's definitely a stacked field, so a lot of action. Time zone's not too bad. It's on in the mornings, so
Yeah.
something to do while you got your morning meetings this week.
Right. Yeah, I'm riding a pretty strong wave. I had a pretty good Houston ATP Houston betting round. So I'm gonna roll some of those winnings into Monte Carlo. I've got my feet under me, it feels like, and as long as you're on the socials, you are riding with me and making some money. Boys, how are you guys feeling about your recent performance? Let the fans know Taylor fade.
Not pretty fucking good. Haven't bounced all the way back from Miami, but it's not as horrific, But the Bublik loss today hurt me. Fucking Sakri lost yesterday on me. I feel like I'm treading water. Treading water right now.
Yeah,
I feel like you're too loyal to your picks that you love rolling them over. You should have just rode with Daniel Collins with us.
I know. I keep betting against Daniel Collins. Keeps costing me fucking money.
I do respect loyalty to an extent, Vic, but to the point where your guys and your girls are just taking money out of your pockets, bro. You gotta limit them. You gotta stop.
Yeah, you're right.
Say, hey, I respect you, but today's not your day. I'm betting against you, especially on American soil. Charleston, South Carolina. Come on, it's a historic place. Danielle Collins is representing all of America today, and throughout the past few weeks, actually.
Yeah, she's been fucking killing it for reals.
It's looking like she's gonna hold serve. So yeah, all right. That's all we've got today. Again, make sure you guys are following us on our socials. We've been picking games every day on Twitter at Faulty Picks. We'll keep the YouTube videos rolling out as well. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow us for more episodes. We've got an exciting clay season to look forward to. We're going to make a lot of money. That's a promise. That's not a promise, but that's what we're aiming to do. So thank you again for joining us for episode 13 of the Gambling Racket. We'll catch you all next week for a midway check-in for Monte Carlo. We'll probably cover the Billie Jean King tournament as it starts to kick off, and we'll give you some updated futures as to what we're liking after we see some big names rise and fall in their introduction to the clay season in 2024. So thank you again for joining us. We'll catch you all next time. Flip the doves.
Arrivederci.
Oh, wow, our Italian backer is speaking Italian. Who would have guessed?
I'm up to one word.
I'm so proud of you. Is that arrivederci? What does that mean?
Goodbye. I think